In sacred worship, the organ isn't merely an instrument, it's the king of instruments, holding a unique power that an electronic keyboard simply cannot match. Developed by the ancient Greeks over 2,500 years ago, the organ is defined in the musical world as a keyboard instrument operated by both hands and feet. Pressurized air flows through the rows of pipes, each one tuned to produce a distinct note, creating a soundscape that is both majestic and timeless. The word organ is derived from the ancient Greek organon, a generic term for an instrument or a tool, an instrument similar to a portative organ used in ancient Roman circus games. The ACK Mombasa Memorial Cathedral of St. John the Baptist had its first organ, known as Lady Elliot, in the year 1904. The organ was installed at the west end of the cathedral between the pairs of the cathedral doors, the space now occupied by the control room. For 15 years, this organ carried the sounds of praise. In 1919, following the devastating East Africa campaign in World War I, where over 387,000 lives were lost within the Diocese of Mombasa, a public subscription was raised for a new organ as a living memorial. The Bevington organ served the cathedral until its complete collapse in 1960. This was due to the long-term effects of Mombasa's climate, resulting in rusted pipes and collapsed wind chest. The Cathedral Council offered the organ case and reusable part as the gift to St. Paul Cathedral Namirembe, who undertook to have the organ completely restored. The same year, the unexpected happened. One of the senior council officers, Mr. Patrick Thompson, donated an almost new organ. It was referred to as the Hammond organ. This was an answered prayer. 54 years later, September 2014, retired Right Reverend Julius Kalu, Bishop of Mombasa, asked for 2 papers to be presented at the Cathedral chapter meeting that was to be held on 14th September 2014. The first paper addressed the issue of the state of the cathedral bells, and the second paper was written in response to increasing concern about the state of the Hammond C3 electronic organ, which was then experiencing increasing functionality issues. A few options were brought to the table: a pipe organ, a digital organ, and an extension organ. The chapter chose the path of tradition and majesty: a pipe organ. In early 2015, the search began and a 3-manual and pedal organ in northern England became available. Unfortunately, the cost of the transportation and reconstruction could not be met by the subcommittee. The project would later be overtaken by the pandemic, and come 2022, the search for a new organ was still on 8 years later. The bishop, Right Reverend Alphonse Mwarobaya, urged that a renewed effort to be made to bring the project to a successful conclusion. The cathedral's music director went back to the drawing board. By early 2024, after extensive correspondence and evaluation, the verification process had to take place, and Peter left for Cardiff, Welsh capital. On 1st May 2024, he met with Philip Drew and Jeremiah Miga to Llandaff Cathedral in Cardiff. For 4.5 hours, he was able to watch the organ in action. He ensured that the design specification would be an accompaniment instrument for congregation, would provide the diversity of sounds appropriate for accompaniment of the choir, and that it would serve as a comprehensive capacity as a recital instrument of significance. These were important considerations in the redevelopment of the cathedral's reputation as a center of excellence in Anglican cathedral music. Today, the organ is here with us.
I was privileged to travel all the way to England to oversee the construction of a 3-manual digital organ. This organ is designed to suit the needs of a cathedral church and I believe it's going to serve our worship in supporting congregational music.
There has been a cry and a desire to restore this organ for those 10 years. It has not been easy. It has been a journey. Because of financial constraints, we have not been able to do it at the time we wanted to do it. This is the time. And it is true. God's timing is always the best.
No electronic keyboards, no matter how advanced, can match the organ's richness, sustain tradition, or spiritual presence. It isn't just music, it is worship itself.
I want to encourage us all to never lose hope. Anything that you desire to do, anything that you aspire to acquire, wait upon the Lord. Because at the right time, the right moment, that which is sealed in heaven, it will happen. It has happened for us. It can happen for anybody.